is a right of every child. According to the United Nations, this education must be quality and inclusive. However, for children in Bludo, in the Southern District of the Volta region, access comes at a price. In this series of special reports focused on education, Fred Duho delves deep into the challenges faced in gaining access to education in some parts of Ghana.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I am on a 90-mile journey from Accra to Bludo in the Volta region. Bludo, a community isolated from the modern world, nests in the westland of the Southern District and has no access roads. On a quiet boat ride, birds chirp in the early morning, heralding the amazing grace of a new day. The serenity of nature provides a therapeutic feel. I am accompanied by the assembly member for the area, Michael Tete. We walked briskly to witness firsthand the experiences of children accessing education. It's 7:42 a.m. on a Wednesday. A mother prepares breakfast for her children. Although they are of school-going age, the current situation presents a challenge. School children race against time, wearing school uniforms at the village square. It's time to give meaning to the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which includes education for sustainable development and global citizenship, gender equality and inclusion. They are ready to acquire knowledge, but access and quality comes at a price. Step by step, they walked to the riverside. A few of them hold long poles to propel their boat forward. They walk confidently through the bush. From afar, their heads are visible, with their bodies enveloped by weeds. Like a good driver checks the condition of his car every morning, Anita, the elderly one, inspects the boat and uses her right hand to fetch mud from under the water to plaster the leaking vessel. She bails out a pool of water from the boat. All is set, she declares. With a long stick aimed at the edge of the water, she pushes the pole backward like Olympic pole vault record holder Ahmad Duplantis. However, Anita's aim is to push the boat forward as much as her strength allows.
As stated by the United Nations, every child in the world deserves education, and so has also been outlined in the SDGs, which stipulates that every child must gain access to education, no child must be left behind. But for children at Bludo in the Southern District in the Volta region, this is their daily ordeal. They have to endure this level of hardship to access education. They embark on this dangerous boat ride almost every morning. That is on days they are even lucky to get a boat to ride on.
Awuku Emanuela.
Awuku Emanuela.
Okay. 9 years.
Class 9.
Class 2.
Okay. Egbiere nuka osroga mi yela suku egbiere.
Me ga so maths be science.
Nuka di abazu lecture mo.
Nurse.
Edibi abazu nurse.
Okay.
Nuka won nurse o no. Nurse o de nuka o mo no.
Ana bi dona mo.
Nuka na mi o wan fi na bu dona o.
No jedo.
Tadibi abazu nurse.
Okay.
For how long have they been doing this?
Oh, they have been doing it since they were born. So it's find difficult to get to school. But when they are going to school, they take about 1.5 hours before they reach school. they are in a hardship. It's very, very dangerous, very, very dangerous. But because by lack of money, they couldn't get a new one. They are using the wood. Now before we are putting some effort to get them a new one. But we are appealing to you if you can assist us get a new one.
How much does a new canoe cost?
It says about 4,600.
When you see your people in this level of poverty and the fact that children whose right it is to gain access to education, what do you tell your people at the assembly in your decision making?
I always tell them to help us, but they are promising, but they will not fulfill. So we are facing challenges, a lot of challenges.
Do they have water in the community?
No, please. They use the Toje water all over.
You mean the water we are
passing on?
That's what they drink.
Exactly.
But the water is smelling. I mean, there is a bit of sense in it.
Exactly.
But the water is polluted.
It's only by the grace of God they are alive.
Do they process the water before?
No, please. They take it raw like that.
When they leave that island, the nearest or the farthest they can go is some 40 minutes to an hour boat ride to the nearest community where we are heading for them to gain access to education. The possibility also of getting there and teachers being available to teach them is another worry. They need to now embark on this journey without life jackets every day. It is their daily routine. I have seen some of them drink this water without caution, this water without any worry, and it seemed to them as though it is so normal.
Bailing water out of the boat must be done without delay to avert disaster. Countless boat disasters have been recorded in Ghana in the past years. The fate of these vulnerable children without life jackets hung in a balance.
After over 40 minutes of boat ride, we finally arrived in the nearest community where the children are expected to arrive in school.
After a stressful ride, there remains a walking distance of about 800 meters. They pause to clean their faces, remove the mud from their legs, brush their hair, and don their school uniforms. Teachers wait patiently for their arrival. Lessons start in earnest.
They are from Bludo.
Madam Peudie Diviner says, without the children from the island, her class becomes empty.
The class, you can even testify, is empty. Sometimes they are even 4. They'll be in the 4 in the classroom. There'll be 4 in the classroom. Some are from the town. But normally if it rains, they don't come to school.
How does that worry you as a teacher?
Oh, I don't teach because most of them are from Bludo. And if I want to teach something, and they are the people in the class that are active, or they are, let me say, they are good in the class. So if I want to teach something and they are not in the class, I find it very difficult to teach them.
The head teacher outlines critical challenges confronting education.
The population is one. The teaching and learning materials, we have some, but not enough. And the students, they are where they commute from to school to is another challenge. Normally the distance is far from the school, so they are coming to school so that the teaching and learning will begin on time to is another challenge.
I went to the Southtown District Office of the Ghana Education Service to seek answers.
When we say a school is defunct, it means it has been officially closed down to some extent. When it is raining, it's difficult to access the place. As at the time we took that decision to close down the school, we had 9 children from P1 to P3. So just a fraction of the children. They were giving me instances where sometimes even whilst crossing the river, snakes jump into the boat. Imagine me, who cannot withstand the sight of snake.
Back in the village, the elderly are unhappy with the turn of events.
Ekonya school super as of one gala area Yosi acquired school.
This school currently has been deserted by the folks in the community because teachers are unable to access the community to come and teach the pupils. Hence, the children have no option than to now travel over a long distance, about 40 minutes across a river, into the nearest community to access basic education. The very last time a lesson was taught in this classroom was 7 years ago, clearly indicating on the board is 23rd January 2017.
The main preoccupation of the people has been alcohol preparation.
But for the kind intervention of Manos Unidas of Spain sponsored school here at Tosupo in the South Tongue district, children within this locality as well as those from the island would have been without education. My name is Fred, reporting for Channel One News.